Hi everyone! If you're like me, you love creating with fondant and you like to make cakes and cake toppers and even decorate some cookies as well. But sometimes you get really frustrated because you can't get it the right fondant consistency, or you get other problems and you don't know how to deal with them. Now, because I've done many cake toppers and cakes, I think probably more than 100 or even more, I can't remember now, I think I have a little bit more experience and I will really happy to help you to deal with it. So I've collected 10 of the most frequently mistakes that I see people make, and I'm going to show you how to deal with them so that you won't have the same problem anymore in the future. Plus at the end I'm gonna give you one bonus. I really hope to help you with it. So let's have a look at all these mistakes and how to deal with them, and really hope to help you with this video today. First of all, you need to understand that there are different types of fondant. The main ones are three types, and there's the one for covering cakes, which is a lot softer and it's perfect for covering a whole cake. Then we have the modeling paste, which is perfect for making cake toppers and figurines. And finally we have the gum paste, which is really stretchable and it gets really nice and hard. That's why it's perfect, in fact, for making flowers. So now that you know the difference, make sure that you're using the right fondant for your creations. It doesn't matter what kind of fondant you're using, but when you get it from the pack at the beginning, it's a little bit harder, so you need it in order to activate it, and then it will be much easier to work with it. If after kneading your fondant it is still a bit too hard to work with it, sometimes you need to make it a little bit softer, and what you need to do is to add a dab of butter, and you will see that after a few minutes it will get much softer and even a little bit more shining, and this is when it is actually perfect for you. On the other hand, if your fondant is too soft, you might using the wrong fondant, or maybe it's too humid where you live, so you might need to add some CMC or gum adjuvant, and you will see that after a few minutes your fondant will get a little bit harder and much easier to work with it. I know sometimes you're doing so many things all at once and you keep all your fondant on your table. However, you always have to make sure that you put it away when you don't work with it. Otherwise, it could get too hard and sometimes even impossible to create anything. If your fondant get too sticky, and again it's because of the weather where you live and because of the humidity, you might need to use some icing sugar or starch. The starch actually is a lot better because it tends to get less humidity. However, icing sugar is still very good and will help you with all the stickiness of your fondant. It is always better after you're doing your decoration to put it away for a while, at least a few minutes, but it is better even a couple of hours, so that they get dry, and when you move them onto the cake it won't change its shape. The best way to coloring your fondant is using the gel paste. They really concentrate and they don't have too much liquid on it, because if you add too much liquid, the consistency of your fondant will change and it will be really difficult to work with it. So always make sure you're using gel paste for your fondant. But I suggest you buying the red and the black fondant, because otherwise you're going to need too much color. And again, when coloring, just leave it to dry for a few minutes and then you can use it afterwards. If you happen to have some fondant that it is a little bit cracked, you don't need to start over again or just throw it away. What you need to do, if it is just a little bit, you just need to rub it with a little bit of butter. Otherwise, if it is a little bit more, you just put a bigger piece of fondant on top of it, and then to remove any lines, what you need to do is again, same thing, use a little bit of butter and then rub it until you don't see any lines into it. Where I live normally, I don't use much water for gluing all the fondant pieces of my decorations, and this is because where I live it is a little bit humid, so it is actually perfect. But in summer I do need a little bit of water for gluing the pieces, and you don't have to use too much of it, just a tiny bit. Your brush really needs to be damp, not full of water. So here is the bonus for you. Have you ever wondered how to remove the fondant decorations on your cakes? You just need a damp brush and really delicately remove your fondant decoration little by little, and voila! Your decoration is not there anymore. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that you find something useful for you so that you won't be frustrated anymore. But if you have any other questions or you get other problems that I didn't talk about it, just let me know in the comment and I will try my best to answer and to help you. And it's all for today. See you next time. Bye bye.